Good morning, peace and blessings. Happy Saturday. Saturday is the day that Saturn governs. And Saturn is, I've been doing a lot more studying on, I'm just in a constant sort of learning experience with astrology. I find that it is the reason I started studying astrology. Good morning, happy Saturday, y'all. The reason I started studying astrology is because I needed something to engage my energy that would always be ever changing. Like I needed something to devote myself to that I wouldn't get bored of, that I would always be able to find new things, new angles, new ideas that would allow me to stay fully engaged. And so I'm always studying with astrology. And I think any person who is an astrologer, hey, Miles, would say that it's a constant thing. Like you have to really do your work to stay in, because it's eternal. Like it doesn't end. Like you just can't learn it all. And it speaks to everyone uniquely and individually. And Saturn has become my new homegirl. In the European, Western structures, Saturn is Kronos, the god who ate his children. And in the Kemetic philosophy, Saturn is feminine. It is the energy of Sekhmet, and the conservationist, and it's a deep internal energy that I don't want to say women because I don't ever want this to be about gender, honestly, and I have to watch my own speaking around it because I've been conditioned that way. But the feminine has this deep internal dark power. In Hindu religion, it's Kali, and you see that goddess who takes heads off, right? And when we think about these things, it seems really brutal externally, but really this is internal stuff, because what we're really working with is the energies within us that we want to transform. And so sometimes we have to kill aspects of ourselves. So Saturn is the disciplinary, it's focus, it's an isolating energy also. It requires that you spend time alone and really begin to listen to yourself and observe your own shadow and your own light. One of the things that I loved about Egypt, like I said, when I got there, I realized once I walked into this very secluded room in a temple somewhere and saw the statue of Sekhmet, I was like, oh, this is what I've come here for. Like I came here to be with this energy and this archetype. And all of these are energies and archetypes that live within us. Sometimes, depending on our own spiritual development or where we are in our own life cycles, like I said, we reincarnate over and over and over again. Where we are in our own life cycles is what we're here to develop this time and to develop and explore. And so for me, this lifetime is Sekhmet, and I have Saturn in my first house. And so Saturn in Aquarius is really focusing on organizations, friends, and discipline. Like it's like asking yourself to make sure that you are with people involved in organizations that have that are focused in the way that you are, not giving your energy and things to people who aren't really aligned with you. And that's a very tricky thing in this world that we live in, because so much of what we do is about money, and so much of what we do is about things that are really meaningless, honestly. But it's important with Saturn and Aquarius, it's like really getting clear about your purpose and recognizing the people that are in alignment with your purpose and using those energies in ways that actually help you advance. Because Saturn, Capricorn energy, ultimately it's about achievement. It's about achieving your goals. It's not about talk, it's not about show, it's about the actual work of achieving what you're up to. And so for those of us who are committed to achievement, right? And that looks different for everyone. So for me, I'm committed to achieving the destruction of the systems and cycles that have kept Black people oppressed and in harm's way. That's what I'm here for. That's what I was born for. That's why I was born in 1968, right at the end of the civil rights movement and at the beginning of the Black Power movement. Grew up in Watts because my soul came here to assist myself and other Black people and really all people, because it's not, this work is not against white people, it's against the systems that have been in place that keep the divisiveness and the separation at work. And the way that I come to that is by recognizing internally, how have I bought into, been conditioned into the systems that are actually harmful. So my work is to teach myself and other people how to get free internally through your mind, because it really isn't an external thing. Honestly, it really is an opportunity to see how you participate, and then with Saturn to literally kill those aspects that would have us continue to align ourselves to things that are harmful for us. It's important to know that, when we're born into these systems, you don't even know how they are functioning in your life. You can't know it. You can't see it because you were born into it, right? So then you get a certain age and you become a certain level of awareness and you realize like, oh, I'm studying, like one of the things that's so fascinating, the medical system. I had this woman, a Black woman who was a doctor, OBGYN, and I realized like, wow, she doesn't even realize that everything that she studied is to actually keep people out of their power, to not have them understand how their reproductive system actually works, to not have them understand, because everything in the American Western system is designed to extract energy out of us. And so, but we participate not even understanding that we are, because you're born into it. So with Saturn and Aquarius, it's about really beginning to understand your own divine power, because Saturn is cause and effect. It's what you put out, you get back. It's this reciprocity, right? It's karma. It's knowing that what goes out is absolutely coming back. And then Aquarius is the mind of God. It's like the form, it's the mind of God. It's, when I say the mind of God, I mean it's new, it's innovative, and that's where we get innovation from the divine, from divine inspiration, from divine thinking, from looking away from what we see and turning within to create something new. And so it asks you that you be willing to do something different, to be different, to be new, to be outside of the ranks with the conventional ways of thinking, the conventional ways of being. It asks you to break your agreements with the conventional mindset so that you can open up into new ways of being. And this is necessary if we're going to build a new culture, a new society, new ways of being, that we are willing to get out of the systems through our thinking, right? And the ways that we think. And so you have to look at yourself. You have to see, how are you participating? Yesterday I was saying that, one of the things that I noticed is that I was groomed to be seeking power outside of me, to seek a man to feel good about myself, to seek love to feel valuable, to seek to look a certain way in order to feel beautiful. So it's in these mindsets that we actually get to question, is that true? Is that good for me? Is that valuable? And really breaking our obsession with the Western European mindset that would have us think that Columbus discovered America, that would have us think that, the government and voting is actually the way that we're going to change this thing, because it's certainly not. Like, really questioning your participation, how you have bought into the cause and effect, how you participate in keeping the organizations and the ways of being alive. And then, slowly but surely beginning to wean yourself off of it. Slowly but surely beginning to create new systems within your own consciousness, within your own ways of being, that will allow you to move into a new way of living on this in this planetary system. The moon today just moved into Gemini, and it crossed the northern node. It's at the first degree of Gemini right now. So we are literally our dharma, our collective dharma. And with Gemini, it's our perceived reality. So it's really important for us to begin to perceive a new reality. And this is a tricky thing, because what we look at, what we see, is what we believe is real. So in order to perceive a new reality, you have to begin to question what you see. You have to begin to question what you participate in. You have to begin to question and begin to think differently. Is this thought serving me? Is what I believe in service to what I'm becoming? And this is really work that you have to do with your higher self. Because what I have discovered is that you got to believe in the God inside of you. You have to believe that God is real through you. And the things that we were taught in Christianity and all of that sort of stuff around, how we behave and all of that, you've got to go deeper. Like, so you can, read the Kabbalion. I talk about the Kabbalion all the time. Look at, study the tree of life. Study so you can really understand how to make peace with the shadow stuff, and how to make peace with destruction, and how to make peace and understand that, we were given a God that was all about like purity and love, but that's not the reality of it. God is as much the devil, and devil is as much God. They literally are one thing. So we've got to really understand how to make peace with the duality, the dual nature of the divine, and how that shows up inside of you. So one of the things I'm really working with right now is my anger and rage and disdain and hatred for all things white, And what does that mean inside of me? And why do I feel the way that I feel? And not feeling bad about how I feel about it, but actually taking responsibility for how I feel about it, and giving myself the permission to really use my voice, to trust myself, and not play small, and not push my energy down to make other people comfortable, to make other people feel safe around me, to make other people feel like, who they are is like I give a fuck, because I don't, right? So it's really important that we begin to integrate our world inside of ourselves, and take responsibility for all that is within us. So how I'm doing this is that, I'm starting to really do the work to get into my body, to feel. I'm starting to study Tantra, because Tantra is, the ability to work through these energies and embody these deities that live inside of us, these consciousnesses, these energies that live inside of us, that are not just about pretty. That's why I love ancient cultures like India and, ancient African cultures, because they didn't attempt to whitewash the full human experience. There needs to be an understanding that there is a holistic understanding, a holistic practice where we combine the light and the shadow. And that is how our power, which Saturn is about. Saturn is about power. It's about cause and effect. It's about creation. And creation is often as much destruction as it is birth. And so with Saturn in Aquarius, we want to look at what are the old things that need to be destroyed, literally destroyed. How you have participated through your thinking, through your ways of being, in things that need to be destroyed. So you destroy your participation in it. You destroy your practice, your belief, and the way you have bought into it. It's an internal thing. And as you destroy it inside of you and begin to take that energy somewhere else, we watch these systems fall. We watch them come undone because we're not giving them life anymore. We're not giving them our energy anymore, and they will collapse. The moon in Gemini really is, Gemini is our perceived reality. Gemini is also duality. It's the light and the dark. Gemini is also our minds, how we think, how we speak, right? So you really want to give yourself the truth. I have Lilith in Gemini, and Lilith is in Gemini right now. And Lilith is the dark goddess. Lilith is the shadow. Lilith is the primordial force of consciousness. And so you want to, with Lilith and Gemini, you really want to speak your absolute truth and speak destruction to the parts of yourself that no longer serve you. Literally speak destruction. In my mind, I imagine the part of me that assimilated into our system of government. I imagine that part of me dying. I imagine the part of me that looks to whiteness to save me, or to, literally, I imagine it dying inside of me. I imagine it burning. I imagine it going into hell and becoming, the death that I desire for it to be. And that is how we kill it. That is how we do it. Because as you kill it inside of you, it can externally, because remember I said everything is internal. Everything is inside. So as you kill it inside of you, it will die on the external reality. So with that, have a beautiful day. Share the video if you want other people to really learn how to do this stuff from the inside out, because the inside is where the power really is. So with that, peace and blessings, everyone. Have a beautiful Saturday. The sun just moved into Scorpio, so we are going to be using this entire month to really take our power back from systems and things and practices and thoughts and ways of being that no longer serve us, as we are coming into the Pluto return, into a new system and into a new cycle. Peace and blessings, everyone. I love you all so much. Bye-bye.